when we're at maintenance, it's really a range of weight we're trying to stay in. Now, the bigger you are, the bigger that range is going to be. Okay. When, say you're that person that's 150 now, and a good range would be like 3 to 5 pounds in either direction. So if you go as far up as 155 pounds or as low as 145 pounds, depending on like stress, sodium intake, if you have to take a crap, like there's a lot of factors at play there that can bump that weight in either direction. So something to keep in mind. What's up, everybody? It is time for the weekly drive. Oh, sorry. Hate how you can't see people to the very last minute. Oh, well, these guys hate me anyway. Okay, so a couple updates, even though it's only been a day, still got some updates. First thing is that when you are listening to this, Monday, what would it be? I think the 4th. I'm not sure if the 4th is a Sunday or not. I don't know days anymore. But whenever that Monday is of the 4th of July weekend, this is coming out. So I hope that everybody has an awesome, or had an awesome 4th of July with friends and family. I will be spending the rest of the time in Lavallette, New Jersey. So if anybody listening is in Lavallette, New Jersey and Ocean Beach 3, if you see somebody chilling with a White Claw looking lazy as hell, that'll be yours truly. Yeah, I plan on doing workouts here and there just to make sure I don't feel like a complete fat slob. But the rest of that vacation will be exactly as it was intended to be, which is relaxation, as I encourage all of you to do. Okay, do the little things that keep you sane and keep you on track. But at the end of the day, you only have a select few times during the year to really unwind and relax. So take full advantage. If you didn't already from last week, go ahead and sign up for the email list, because you don't want to miss out on the 30 for 30 workouts that are coming up. 30 workouts that you can do in 30 minutes or less, with a bunch of different options as far as equipment goes. And you also get to be first to find out about, I'm just going to act like I'm on a phone call right now because I just passed a police officer. Okay. And we're back. And you want to be first to find out about the August challenge. Now, I still can't make up my mind. Beginning of August, end of August, I just don't know. I can't figure it out. So when I do figure that out, I hope you're on the email list. I really do, because then you'll have first dibs. Okay. And just so everybody here knows what's going on, I know exactly what it's going to be. Just the timing isn't quite there, but just a little heads up. It is going to be a free challenge. Kinda. Now, the whole point is to give you an incentive to complete the challenge, because you'll be better for it. You'll be looking better, feeling better, as long as you do the damn challenge. So this one, the theme of this one is put your money where your mouth is. Okay. I am going to pick a certain amount that you got to buy in. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to be enough where you're like, oh, I got to finish this challenge. Yeah, I got to get it done. Okay. If you complete the challenge, if you get all the workouts done, if you do all of the nutrition stuff, and you last the whole way through the 30 days, you get your money back. So not only is it free to you, you get amazing results, and because of all that incentive. So I'm excited. Can't wait to roll that out. And I hope you are on that list so you know when. All right. Now, time for the topic at hand. We got possibly one of the least popular topics to talk about today. Everybody's really, really fired up when it comes to talking about burning fat, talking about high intensity workouts, all the sexy stuff. This is that less sexy stuff that actually keeps you feeling really good and looking really good and holding on to all of that progress, all of the results you just got. And that is the maintenance phase. Yeah, hold your yawns. I know. Maintenance is not sexy, but it has a purpose. Now, let's say let's say you did your diet, you're really, really happy with the results, and you want to figure out how to keep them. Okay. When we dieting for fat loss should not be a life goal. Like, that should not be how you eat year round. When you're eating that little and you're consistently losing weight, that is not a good thing super long term. Okay. What we do want to stay long term is good habits and quality food. Now, those good habits could mean sticking to your one plate rule, sticking to a consistent eating schedule, making sure to get protein at every meal. That stuff, yes, we want to keep it. And we also want to focus on the quality. So if you've been eating really quote unquote clean, okay, we still want to keep that in the mix. We still want the majority of what we eat to be clean. God, I hate that word. To be micronutrient dense, for anybody that listened to the Good versus Bad Foods podcast. I think that was like 3 back, number 21, I think. Good versus Bad Foods, definitely worth a listen. Okay. We want to keep those good foods in the equation, because when we're coming out of this dieting phase, if we just go right to eating crap all the time because now we're done dieting, it's time to let loose. Okay, that's a guarantee to feel like shit and to lose your progress and to lose those results really, really fast. So that's one reason to go into maintenance. Now, another reason to go into maintenance could be maybe your weight loss journey is really long. Okay, say you have 50, 70, 100 pounds to lose. You're not going to do that all in one shot. Now, depending on the person, depending on how much they want to put themselves through as far as the dieting phase goes, like the longer it goes, the harder it is. Basically, what you want to do, if that's you, is to implement diet breaks. And what diet breaks are is when you bump the calories back up to maintenance level. Okay, we're back to maintenance. That allows your body to kind of settle. It gets back to a state of homeostasis, if you will. It just allows your body to get back to its normal functions without focusing on, holy crap, we're not getting enough food. And it can be very, very helpful for hormone regulation, for libido. Okay, for anybody that's ever dieted long enough to not be able to, or to not want to have sex. Okay, it's a very real thing. So you add a couple more, like 300-400 calories back in, and boom, you're I know I make this an explicit show, but I'm not going to go that far. Okay, let's just say you're raring to go after some extra calories, depending on how far you took that diet break, that dieting phase. Yeah, and just in general, your energy can skyrocket once you add those calories back in, which is good for long-term adherence to losing fat when you get back on that diet phase. So 2 big main reasons why people go into a maintenance phase. Now, let's talk about how long should you do maintenance for. Now, I'll start with the people that are using it as a diet break. Now, when you do a diet and you want to jump into that maintenance phase and let your body kind of cool off a little bit, let it settle. Ideally, like, I know some people who have taken this like to the lab and really gotten nerdy about it and really like dove down that rabbit hole, mainly bodybuilders. Yeah, the one guy that comes to mind is Mike Israetel, and pretty much like other people at RP Strength, Renaissance Periodization, great resource. I would definitely follow them. Okay, once you're done listening to this, Renaissance Periodization, great resource. I've seen their content where they say, ideally, you want to maintain as long as you were in that dieting phase 4. So let's say and I think that's because of, I believe that's because they measured like baseline levels before starting a diet when it comes to certain hormones like leptin, ghrelin, and other stuff like that, and then compared them and saw how long it took to get back to that baseline. I believe, don't quote me on that. But yeah, so let's say you did a fat loss phase and it lasted like 3 months. Okay. That means you should probably do 3 months of maintenance. That means trying to do your best to keep your weight at a steady level. Now, that does not mean that, let's say you just diet it down and your weight is at 150. That does not mean every single day you're stuck at 150 and it, God forbid, you went 0.5 pounds up. Time to freak out, time to go back on the diet. No, that's not what that means. All right, Honda Accord, you're making us other Hondas look bad. Cutting me off like a jerk off. Move over, fucker. Sorry, guys. I think that's the first time I've lost my cool on this one. Anyway, anywho, where were we? Lost my train of thought. So we're at maintenance level. And when we're at maintenance, it's really a range of weight we're trying to stay in. Now, the bigger you are, the bigger that range is going to be. Okay. When, say you're that person that's 150 now, and a good range would be like 3 to 5 pounds in either direction. So if you go as far up as 155 pounds or as low as 145 pounds, depending on like stress, sodium intake, if you have to take a crap, like there's a lot of factors at play there that can bump that weight in either direction. So something to keep in mind. Now, if you stay within that range for that 3 months, so you dieted for 3 months and you're staying between 145 and 155, or if you want to keep it tighter, like what would that be, 47 to 153, in that range, if you're good, you're fine. That's maintenance. And your body will thank you for it. Okay, now, let's say you are not that type of person where you are not coming off of a diet phase and want to jump right back into another. Let's say you're a person that's all done. You're very content with your results and you want to just keep them. Okay. You could take that as long as your heart desires. If you want to just maintain, that is great. Or person number 3, okay, if you're like myself and enjoy getting muscles, making more defined musculature, okay, feeling beefy, joining the gain train, but you don't want to get fat, there is a thing called gaintaining or gaintenance. Yeah, I might have made up that second one, but gaintaining is a term that has been floating around recently. And people that misinterpret it think, oh, if you eat maintenance calories and you really push it in the gym, then you can gain muscle without gaining fat. And that's not necessarily true. Okay, when you gain muscle, depending on your experience level, if you are a beginner, I can't make any guarantees. When you're a beginner, it's basically like being on steroids. You can gain muscle, burn fat, and you could do that on many different calorie ranges. But let's say you're an intermediate to advanced. Okay, you've been at this for a good amount of years. Okay, you got to pick a direction. And more times than not, if you want to gain muscle, you got to go into a surplus. That means you have to gain weight, because where's that muscle going to come from? What's it going to be made out of? You need extra. But there is a way to do that while minimizing fat gain. And that is the maintenance method, which is pretty much you set yourself at maintenance calories. However, you allow yourself for a little bit of indulgence here and there. So you kind of just let life put you into a surplus without actively trying to be in a surplus. So me personally, an example of this would be, okay, so I'm coming out of a diet phase. My dieting calories are usually somewhere around the 2100, 2200 mark. Okay, and when I come out of maintenance, I usually bump my calories up 500-600 calories. I mean, now I'm on Carbon Diet Coach and I'm up like 1,000 calories and I'm still maintaining weight, which is wonderful. But anyway, like, let's say I get to there. Now that's my maintenance. I'm going to keep that as my calories from like Monday through Friday, what the week is. And I'm still going to keep it around that for the weekend. Like I'll try and keep it within reason. But on a Friday or a Saturday, like if my girlfriend says, hey, let's go out and get pizza and drinks, I'm not going to say no. I'll be like, hell yeah, you're fueling my goal here. And maybe booze isn't the greatest idea, but I'm getting into that surplus. Okay, I'm getting into a place where I am taking in more calories than maintenance without really trying. Okay. Or say you go to like a family barbecue, instead of like thinking in your head, I just got to eat protein. I just got to get through this and not go off the rails. Have a little bit, have a piece of cake, have like a cookie here and there, and just within reason. Don't eat like an asshole, but just enough where you feel like you're satisfying that urge to eat like the good stuff, that stuff you've been holding out on. Now's the time to eat it. And that's one way to put you into gaintenance or gaintaining. Okay. And that can be very helpful, because if we're trying to put on muscle, or maybe if we're not even trying to put on muscle, maybe we're just trying to get super duper strong. Maybe we're just trying to feel like a freaking superhero in the gym. That helps. Okay. Because that added muscle that you're going to get by association just from lifting hard and doing your thing is going to help you lift more weight, because weight moves weight. That doesn't mean get massive and get like bloated and fat just for the sake of lifting heavy, but that means the more muscle you have, the more weight that you're going to be able to handle. And nobody at nationals looks scrawny, so muscle can help. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, nationals, like powerlifting, weightlifting, any of that stuff, if you look at the top level competitors, they all have muscle. There's no scrawny people. And if there are, they're usually like the little kids that are setting world records that probably shouldn't be lifting that crazy amount of weight anyway. Anyway, I digress. Now, if you want to find your calorie range, like let's say this all sounds great and you're ready to go. Like, all right, I've got maybe a couple weeks, maybe a month left of my diet, and I'm ready for this maintenance phase. Okay. For you to figure out exactly the amount of calories you want to be at, okay, you got a couple different options. One, you can go the classic route of just Googling TDEE calculator, total daily energy expenditure calculator. And then when you put all your info in there, your activity level, your age, your gender, all that stuff, it'll pump out a number that says what you need to maintain that body weight. Now we know to lose body fat, you take 500 away from that, or like something around that number to try and lose weight. Now you just don't have to take that 500 away. You just keep that number as is and hit it. However, when your body gets this surge of new calories that it's been craving, that can result, I'm not going to say always or usually because everybody's different. Okay, there are 3 different types of responders in this situation. When you add in those extra calories, there's one, the non-responders, which keep losing weight even when you add calories back in. Those are the assholes, because we don't like those people. They're getting amazing results and the rest of us can't do that. Okay, I'm not that person either. But they basically just don't respond to the extra calories, and they got to keep adding in calories to try and get to that maintenance level. That may be you. Okay, if you are, on behalf of all of the rest of us, screw you. Enjoy it. Enjoy all those extra calories. But yeah, you might have to add in like 500, 1,000 more calories depending on how fast your metabolism is. And then there's those people on the other side of the spectrum who gain weight immediately. Okay, you add in like that 500 calories, and I'm not talking like that initial weight gain. When you do this, that first couple of days, like 3 to 5 days, your weight's going to be up because your body is going to be shifting water around and all that. I'm talking like, say you add 500 calories after like 2-3 weeks and your body weight is up and it didn't level out. It just keeps going up and up and up. Okay, more times than not, that's not a whole lot of fat. That's usually just your muscles filling out with glycogen. So it's nothing to be worried about. But say it just keeps going up after like 3-4 weeks. Okay, then you might be that type of person that's just very sensitive to the additional calories. Now, this usually doesn't happen, especially if you add in slowly. So if you are very fearful of this being you, then don't add 500 calories back in. Okay, just do what you got to do, or just sorry. I lost it. I had it. These darn cars are freaking me out, driving up my anxiety levels. Okay. But yeah, if that's you and you're scared of putting that weight on, just do it slowly. Instead of adding 500 calories a day, add 250 calories a day. And that should be fine. Now, say you're that other person that it is perfecto. Okay, you add those calories in and things kind of stabilize, nothing really changes. That's perfect. Now, you could either keep it as is if it's a very comfortable way of living, or you can try and bump that number up a little bit. Add like 100, 200, 300 calories a week and just see how high you can raise that number. That's what we call a reverse diet, when the intention is to try and get as many calories in as you can without weight going up substantially. That's the fun way. Okay, you pretty much just push that number as far as you can. You accept the fact that when you add those calories, you have that 3 to 5 days of like a little bit of extra weight on you. And that's okay, because you know by Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you stay consistent, that weight is going to level off and come back down. And then you just keep riding that, seeing what you can handle. That's the fun version. And if you want to join me on that adventure, I take all newcomers. So yeah. And also, before I forget, if you don't want to do that TDEE calculator, there's also a really simple way. So when I tell you guys how to calculate calories for fat loss, I usually tell you to take your goal weight. So me being 200 pounds, I want to get to 180 pounds. You take that 180, that weight that you want to get to, and instead of multiplying it by 10 to 12 like you would for the losing weight, you multiply it by 15. Now, this would get you kind of in the ballpark of where that total daily energy expenditure number is, if you don't want to do all the entering stuff in on the internet and everything. It's just goal body weight times 15, boom, done, that's it. And then apply everything that we just talked about. Okay, the main thing to remember here is that when you're setting those calories for the first time, whether it be fat loss, maintenance, surplus, it's a guess. It really is. And it's not meant to be taken as like, these are your calories. If they don't work, then that's your fault. No, that's not how it goes. It's basically just like, hopeful, like from a coach's perspective, this is literally my thought process is like, well, hopefully this gets us what we want. And if one of these three happen, like if this person falls into those three categories, like non-responder, average, and hyper responder, okay, we'll adjust accordingly. And that's the goal. That's the mindset that you want to go into a lot of this stuff with is, well, we're just seeing what happens and we'll make adjustments as we need. Now, if you don't know what those adjustments are, it can freak you out. That's like when you hop on the scale and you see a little bit of weight gain here and there, and you go right back onto the diet and you're just miserable and you're in that continuous cycle of dieting. Then you're back off of the diet, you gain a little weight, then boom, right back on, and it goes on and on and on. And you never really get out of that dieting phase, which can actually lead to things like your metabolism adapting and getting slower. So then when you're trying to lose weight and keep bringing it down, bringing it up, bringing it down, it's that much harder to lose weight every single time. And a lot of people are stuck in that zone. Now, when you're stuck in that zone, it makes life a whole lot harder to get what you want as far as fat loss results go, whether you're a coach or a client. Like, it's not fun being in that zone. So do what you got to do. Get into that maintenance zone, let your body chill, accept the fact that there's going to be fluctuations in weight, and you'll be fine. Okay. At the end of the day, your weight's going to stabilize. You'll be in a good spot as long as you stay consistent and you keep those good habits, like drinking half your body weight in ounces of water, eating vegetables, eating protein, getting enough sleep. As long as all of that stuff is taken care of, you will be fine. And if for some reason you just can't figure it out and you're still struggling with all this, hit me up. I'm here for you guys. And if you need to get in touch with me, just email me, coachfitz1@gmail.com, coach FITZZ, the number 1 @gmail.com. Okay, again, if you want to get in on that newsletter, if you want to get those 30 for 30 workouts early, if you want to be one of the first people to find out about the the August challenge, the Win Your Money Back challenge, sign up for that newsletter. Okay, it's coming soon. Don't waste time. Do it now. It'll be in the show notes. So don't worry. Just check it out. You'll click a link, no problem, and you'll be good to go. So I hope that this was informative. I hope that you guys feel good about this. Okay, it's a very uneasy topic. It can be a very scary place once the diet is over, but you can handle it now that you have all this knowledge. You know what to expect. Okay, so I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of the week. Go kick some ass, and I will see you guys next time.